Alright, I'm coming. Here I am. Never fear. I'm here. Maybe a little late. That's because I was a little bit late finding out that I had to come in for Gino and Gino Streams. I'm looking out for the city as we're talking. You can see. Excuse me, that's a squeaky chair. That's not really me. How's everybody today? Hope everybody's had a good day. I've had a pretty good day. I'm just sitting around, messing around, having a really good time. Drinking my bat juice. Give me a second here. We'll fix this up. That's the right thing. Nope. How about this? It's going to be the right. Nope. That's not the window I want. What are we doing here? Trying to get the right window. Everybody sit tight, please. Oh, there we go. Get me here. Back to where I want to be. Anyhow. Oh, that's not what's going on. My stream's going. It says, no. That is not the right one. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get it. We'll get it together here. As I was saying, how is everybody today? You love somebody today? Hope you all looking out for criminals. We had some criminals here close. Oh, okay. There's shooting not too far away. Let's get this. Like that. Oh. No. Yeah. All right, Gino stream is up. Looking at my board here. I gotta turn down the sound before it starts feeding back. How's everybody doing? I already said that, didn't I? Okay, well, today I wanted to try to get some help from y'all. I'm looking for some suspicious characters. I'm wanting to find this fella. And we're needing to find this fella.
Penguin is the bird that cannot fly.
Boy, they're looking a little.
Penguin is the bird that cannot fly.
Man. And how about this fella? He looks crafty, doesn't he? Yeah, it's a crafty one. And last but not least, well, it's not really last.
You go back and fill it up. Okay.
Call him Junior. I see Junior. Be on the lookout. Go the other way. It's nothing but trouble. You want to steer clear from Junior. I'm telling you. I've got all kinds of help with me. We got the Justice League, of course. They're very good friends. We're pretty close, as you can see. Yes. All of us there. We're out fighting crime once, often as we see it. That was a bad one.
Glad I didn't miss this.
There we go. So, just let one of us know if you see any of those guys. Oh, and Gino said, how about some Mo Gene? Nobody's watching right now. But that's not the only characters I wanted to talk about. There's some characters that's been bothering me. I've been into the library.
Today, President Biden announced a month-long effort.
I've been into the library here and doing some research. And come upon this shady character.
On Long Island this weekend, visiting a really dear friend, and I was really disturbed. I saw dozens and dozens of pickup trucks with explicatives against Joe Biden on the back of them, Trump flags, and some cases just dozens of American flags, which is also just disturbing because essentially the message was clear.
I don't understand.
This is my country. This is not your country. I own this.
Come on, people. That was Mara Gay. Mara Gay. She's a New York Times columnist. The Times said that her comments were taken irresponsibly out of context. Now, what's out of context? What can you take out of context from that? Tell me. It couldn't be any more plainer. She said it's because Trump supporters politicized the flag. They said, this flag is mine. She brings a little racism into it, saying they think Americanness is the same as one with whiteness. We also had a physical therapist not too long ago, another shady character from Yale, I think it was. And she also said something about shooting a bunch of people, white people in the head. Said she was just using a metaphorical situation. That was just metaphorical. Shooting a bunch of white people. That's not right. That's not showing love. Everybody, we must show love. You can't be doing that stuff. This racism thing's got to stop. I mean, even I have a woman working with me. She's not of a different color. I talked about her not too long ago. Kind of shamed me with her show, but I accept her. I still accept her. I still love her. I get great. Refreshing punch. Very much. I also had another shady character in the wings here. I think everybody will recognize him because he's gained so much popularity. That's right, Dr. Fauci. Sounds evil, doesn't it? Evil Dr. Fauci. I'm telling you, Fauci has been saying, you attack Fauci, you attack science. Listen up here.
It's very dangerous, Chuck, because a lot of what you're seeing as attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science. Because all of the things that I have spoken about consistently from the very beginning have been fundamentally based on science. Sometimes those things were inconvenient truths for people, and there was pushback against me. So if you are trying to, get at me as a public health official and a scientist, you're really attacking not only Dr. Anthony Fauci, you're attacking science. And anybody that looks at what's going on clearly sees that. You have to be asleep not to see that. That is what's going on. Science and the truth are being attacked.
Sorry, Bill Nye. Fauci is the new science guy. The evil Dr. Fauci. Oh my goodness. He's been getting himself deeper and deeper. He's been lying and being deceitful with Congress and Senate. They've kind of found him out a little bit. They've had some access to some of the emails that he's gotten. And let's listen up. Let's listen up on this.
Today, President Biden announced a month-long effort to reach his goal of getting 70% of adult Americans at least one COVID vaccine shot by the 4th of July. He has also ordered a review of how the pandemic started. And now we're getting some rare insights.
We'll get down to this Wuhan thing.
After newly released emails linked to Dr. Anthony Fauci have come out. Among the revelations, his correspondence with a key figure linked to the Wuhan
emails
lab.
come out
Reports
about
show
this.
that a lead researcher personally thanked Dr. Fauci for
what's
downplaying
going
the COVID lab leak theory early on. It comes as many major news outlets are now acknowledging that they originally dismissed that possibility. Now, of course, critics are accusing Fauci of profiting off the pandemic as well with this new book deal, following in the footsteps of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who also released a leadership lessons book during the pandemic. Joining us now, former Congressman and White House Chief of Staff for President Trump, Mark Meadows. Good evening to you, Mark. Let's go ahead and start with this issue of funding, right? Dr. Fauci admits there was some modest funding. We're talking about roughly $600,000, but he said that it was not for gain-of-function research. How can he be so sure?
Gain-of-function.
Well, he can't be so sure because I can tell you that the
gain-of-function
gain-of-function rhetoric has only recently appeared in our vocabulary
That's
when
not true.
Dr. Fauci
That's
was
not
being
true.
questioned by Senator Rand Paul. And what you start to see is they're all out trying to shape a narrative that really didn't exist back in April and May of 2020. I can tell you, when President Trump found out that we were funding the Wuhan lab with the American taxpayer dollars, his response was immediate and very declaratory. He said, let's stop the funding. They shouldn't be getting any money from America. And yet what we saw at that particular time was Dr. Fauci just poo-pooing the idea that there could be anything to this leak from the lab.
Wow.
I think the facts will bear it out that we should not only investigate it further, but make sure that Dr. Fauci in his new book is a little bit more transparent than he's been over the last year.
Well, there's a lot to get to there. Let's unpack this piece by piece and talk about the early dismissal, if you will, of the theory that the coronavirus could have leaked from the Wuhan lab. Obviously, the Trump administration thought that there was a possibility of that and would have probably investigated it sooner rather than later. But let me read you this email from the researcher thanking Dr. Fauci. Listen to this. Quote, I just wanted to say a personal thank you on behalf of our staff and collaborators for publicly standing up and stating that the scientific evidence supports a natural origin for COVID-19 from a bat-to-human spillover, not a lab release from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. From my perspective, your comments are brave, and coming from your trusted voice will help dispel the myths being spun around the virus's origins. Your reaction to that?
Well, obviously, he's getting applauded from a Chinese counterpart. This was really just not only the troubling part of that email, but the other part of it is that Dr. Fauci didn't look at any evidence. It's very obvious now, and was obvious to us then, that his statements were just being made based on what he believed to be the fact, instead of actually looking at any evidence. And so it should have been a red flag that went up very high in the air when he starts getting applauded by the Chinese government, and indeed this Chinese colleague of his, for a statement that was at best speculation on his part.
All right, Mark, let's talk about the book for a second. I think we have a picture of it on the full screen here. This is Dr. Fauci's new book that he wrote during the pandemic. Wow, he must have had some extra time to write a book. Expect the unexpected, Dr. Anthony Fauci. And down there, the lessons of truth.
Speaking of books, I've got one of my own. It's called Stop Writing Books Before the Crisis is Over. It's free. Stop writing the books. You haven't finished your job. Oh my goodness. Can't believe. Well, yes, I can believe it's being run by a politicized party that just ends up playing every dirt and rotten trick in the book. It reminds me of a show, a movie called The Campaign, Will Ferrell. Here, I got a little clip for you of it, or jog your memory. It's just a little clip of one of the trailers of the campaign.
How you doing?
Hate to break it to you, friend, but your balloon's getting ready to pop. And that balloon's full of your own butt toots.
Are you trying to trash talk me?
Your mama's like a vacuum cleaner. She sucks. She
blows. See, there's
nuts feel like.
Rich guys in this one party want to get rid of that congressman that's already been in.
In Hebrew.
Balagan.
He's kind of screwed
You a
up.
holy war little man?
So they have this other guy. But they just did all those dirty rotten tricks and the rope they could to make themselves better and all and so on, blah, blah, blah. And it's like a cabal type situation.
And I will win.
This dog has a lot of fight in him.
Already
Morty
candidate.
Huggins? What do you got there? Is that a crossbow?
And then they flip-flops around onto the other one because he gets a big head and all.
That's my baby to kiss.
I don't like it, but this is a funny part. It was a real good movie. If you haven't seen the campaign,
Is anyone asking how
You
my
might
hand
wanna
feels
watch it.
after
It's
touching that
alright.
iron-like jaw of that baby?
but it kind of reminds me of what's going on now. It kind of reminds me. They all know about the Wuhan lab. They all know it was other scientists that got sick. They've even found out that the little virus was too genetically made up to be something that was natural. You know, well, then duh. It must have been made in a lab. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Dr. Fauci. It's unbelievable. But anyways, shoot, the CDC has even come out and said now that people that have had the virus, well, they're just as good as the ones that's been vaccinated because there's a little bit of left over in the genetics that makes you that fights the virus if you come in contact with it again. So you either don't get it very bad or you don't get it at all. they are trying to say go ahead and take the first shot. But, you know, that's each to his own. That's what I say.
Hate to break it.
We don't want to watch Avenger. But let's go on over. He's not by himself, old Dr. Fauci. He's not. I mean, just to show you that these politicians are really pulling the strings and that they're being controlled by the party. Let's go on over here to the big old house.
Rock and I think it's a right
Uh-oh.
for people that bad and kept
I messed up again, didn't I? Which one's on?
My son's business dealings were not anything with everybody that he's talking about.
I'll lead in effect.
That one was. I'm not that good at turning them all off after I loaded them downloaded. But anyways, let's take Kamala, for instance. Everybody knew and knows that she was not a top-tier candidate. I mean, come on. Most people thought she was repelling to the people, even through the popular people, that she'd won her Senate. They was even getting sick of her. But she did win the popular vote and become the senator. But she wasn't popular enough to be even a candidate. Nobody thought she deserved to be a candidate for president. And then they wanted to go and try to throw her in as vice president. I wonder why. Not call her or gender, I would think. I'm sure this is the reason why. I mean, my goodness. She reminds me of one of the criminals I'm trying to hunt down.
So my point is,
Laughed about everything.
How do you define what you hear?
We appreciate you being here on New Day.
She's not serious about anything.
Not everybody landed punches like you do.
Yeah. I mean, tell me, do you find that attractive? I don't. Nope. Fake people. Life is so fake. She couldn't even decide how to pronounce her name, I'm telling you, folks. I know a couple of ways she's tried. Kamala. I don't know, man. It seemed like she changed it every time you turned around during the campaign. But they did her all up. Made her look real good. Tried to sell her as well as they could. They gave her a whole page in a paper, the LA Times. The LA Times gave her a whole page. And it ended up just being a fashion page of Kamala. What was in fashion with Kamala? Ooh. And then Disney went even further. They did a little cartoon story about how it was grand that a woman like this was getting into the position, and a woman of color, and a mother, and blah, 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 blee, blee, blee. Oh my goodness, give me some Pepto. I'm telling you. But they seem to got her struck up to make a few people believe it anyways. Well, at least taking crazy pills, but that isn't all. Shoot, they even had a kid version of her book of her memoirs. Kamala's memoirs are kid written. Let's not program our kids, people. Speaking of programming our kids, this race deal where they're trying to program kids about it's separating different races in school. That's just wrong. Kids don't see color. Let's cut this racist narrative out. Kids don't see color. But they got the memos and even had a cookie of Kamala. At least they didn't put the face in. I think that was a good choice. They left the face out. But it just goes to show you, well, how did someone like that get hired for the job? Well, that's not it. That's not it. We can't just stop there. You know, she's had a job that she's supposed to do for a long time that her boss has put her into. And let's just see how she handles that.
There's one other topic I wanted to talk to you about, but let me just quickly put a button.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, you know, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to you. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well,
what border are you talking about? I don't understand the question. Speaking of her being in Guatemala, well, you know what they thought about her? Let's just see what they thought about her in Guatemala. Even they knew. Guatemalans even were fooled. Trump rules. Trump won. Illegitimate vice president. They pull one over on them.
They're really showing themselves to do really well.
Up the country. Come on, man. Come on, man. Speaking of come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. That's right, old Joe Biden. My goodness. Now, surely everybody realizes somebody's pulling his strings. You've got to be realizing somebody's pulling his strings. I mean, goodness gracious. The dude doesn't even know if he's president or not. I keep forgetting I'm president. Oh my goodness, I keep forgetting I'm president. My, I don't know how you can forget that you're president after all the work you're supposed to be doing. You know, we had a president that ended up offering his salary up. He offered up most of his time. People went on over and over how he never hardly slept. And you could tell by the campaigns. That's right, believe me. I tell you. And to sit there and have somebody that I keep forgetting I'm president. Oh man, I tell you, how can you forget your president? But that's coming from this person.
Rock and I think it's a right for people that bad attempt there. For people that bad attempt there.
My son's business dealings were not anything with everybody that he's talking about.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. True international effort to pressure. True international effort to pressure. We've now hit 9 million cases nationwide.
Sorry, this cable is working.
Look, tomorrow's Super Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead on.
Oh, he's rushing ahead.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Sid, you know the thing, you know.
And the kids from Parkland marched up to, and I met with them, and then they went off to up on the hill. I was vice president. They went off the hill to bring those neighbors. All those congressmen were like, "No, I'm not here. I'm not here. Don't tell them I'm around." We are. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. Words that stun the nation, and I would argue, I know, shocked the world. International leaders spoke about it. You had people like you had people like the former chairman and leader of the party in Germany. You had Angela Merkel. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. I never believed we'd have to fight this hard, though. I never believed it'd be this much in jeopardy. We launched our campaign over on the Oval back in May 9th, 2019. But you know what I said then, we've been through a lot since then. What I said then is even more.
They don't know what I said.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it. I come
think about it.
Black community in terms of my support.
His own other constituents
in the black community that have announced for me.
ran against him,
African American woman that ever been elected.
put him in his place, he lied.
A whole range of people. My point is,
It's not true. No, still wrong.
and we're going to create a new bio-based multi-manufacturing job environment to deal farmers in on the benefits of a changing economy. One of the things that the leader of the United States Senate, the Speaker of the House. We got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Oh, shoot. I gotta get the comments. They're always been joined by Dennis. He's a good buddy. Say hi to him. Hey, hi. How are you? Hi, how are you? We're always talking about the villains of today's administration here. Yeah, you think that'd been enough to keep half the people from voting for him, but it didn't. Plus, we had his son Hunter. You know, he not only did he have shady business dealings overseas, some texts come out from that laptop that he says is his, but some of the stuff's not true. Some of the stuff's made up. Well, they found some texts back and forth from a known lawyer of his, and he was throwing the N-word around like he was some ghetto person that just ended up taking a new supply of crack up. I think that would be enough to tip people off. But it wasn't. It wasn't at all. There's got to be some kind of democratic cabal, you know, and we're out to get it. Me and my crew, we'll be on the lookout for injustice like that. My guys there. They're beautiful, aren't they? I'm just doing this for you. You just showed up live there. Who else is up on there? Somebody else plugged me in. Should I do the show all over? I mean, man, I'm today. So today we've decided this guy and this guy. Where's he at?
Penguin is the bird that cannot fly.
He seems like an evil one. This guy, he's a crafty one. Don't forget this one.
You go back and fill it up. Okay.
Horrible. Junior, you gotta watch out for him. I'd steer very far from him. Very far from him. Don't go around him. That's right, Junior. And we gotta watch out for this guy. This is a bad guy. No, we don't want to forget. We don't forget this shady character. She's worried about the American flags. People throwing in a bunch of flags saying it's whiteness. And of course,
Rock and I think
we've
it's
got
all
the
right
two biggies. This guy.
For people that bad at there.
My son's business dealings were not anything with everybody
Such a
that he's talking about.
I'll lead it.
And this guy. She's the giggler. Have you heard of the giggler? That's the giggler. So I'm on the lookout for these guys. They should be caught as soon as possible and taken into custody. All of them. If you see them, just leave a comment. Let me know where to find them. I'll do my best in getting them. But the main thing is we've got to solve the mystery of who's actually pulling the strings. And they've got to be some fat cats with the balls and everything. They've got the balls and everything. They own a little bit of the media. They own a little bit of Hollywood. They own a little bit of the music industry. We got to find them guys. Got to be aware of them guys. They're pulling all them strings. Because remember, when somebody that's in charge is going to come around and say something like this. It's trouble. That's trouble, people. So, well, that's about it. I'm done for the night. I hope you've enjoyed my show. If you got here too late, I'm sorry. It's your fault. I put it online, and it's at 7 every Thursday night on Gino Stream. We'll make sure it gets posted. So, I hope you enjoy it as a replay. It's going to be posted right away after I get done here. So, everybody, hope you have a blessed weekend. And I hope everybody has a good evening. And remember, love everybody. Alright, now what? Right. If I get this, I better take my drink with me. I got it. Everybody, I'll see ya. See you next time. Gino will be here probably next time, but you know, I'll come in from time to time. I'll do something. I'll see you guys. Bye.